So with all the WordPress drama going on in the world right now, I'm curious if WordPress is the safest bet to continue onward. And in the latest live stream that I did last week, we took a look at Web Studio. And today I want to look at an alternative for WordPress. It's called Drupal. Drupal has just released their Drupal CMS. So let's have a look. And this Drupal CMS, it's a new system. It's a distribution of the original Drupal core, as you can see right here. And they made it so that it is easier to set up Drupal and use it in a way. You can even build the content in an easier way. And for a very, very further future, I don't see the image right here, you can also have a page builder experience. And that's something they're working on. But I'm wondering right now, how's Drupal if we just use it for the CMS system? Let's find out. So I tried to set up Drupal in a local machine using this section for DDEV, but unfortunately I didn't get it to work. So we're going to skip this because it is very technical. If you ask me, you have to follow instruction on how to install DDEV, and then you have to install the right version of Linux to use. And for me, I don't understand why they don't have the settings right here, that you know the steps that you need to do to install DDEV, then using Drupal in that way as well. Just everything in one place instead of me having to click to go to other places to understand how it works. But it is what it is. I tried to set it up yesterday and I didn't get to work. I took about 1 hour to try to get this up and running. I'm not that very technical. I've worked with some commands in the past and it was fine, but yeah, sometimes it is what it is. Hello Jimmy, how nice of you to join. Thanks. Let's see, I need to set up something still. Activate selected. Let's see how this works. And looks it works right now. My chat, I can only start it when the live stream started, so I want to get this a little bit out of the way. So if you want to have fun and try to install Drupal, be my guest, but I didn't get to make it work with the DDEV. I hope that sometime in the future they will work together with hosting companies, just like WordPress does, that allows you to have a one-click install for Drupal. I didn't see anything for it right now, so I don't know how this is working. This chat thing is quite weird to set up every time. Yeah, it is. I used a Chrome extension first, but now I'm running Zen browser, and Zen browser only uses Firefox engine, so I think it probably has something to do with that. But let's see how the next things go, right? So getting back at Drupal CMS, the reason why I picked Drupal CMS as one of the tools that I want to look into is because it is very known for what they are creating until now, and this is a way to get a little bit of the WordPress persons as well, just like me, and perhaps like you as well. Although I know how to code, I dislike it. I like to use page builders, and I think this is a very nice way of getting started and seeing Drupal getting to go that way. So to test out Drupal, we need to fill out a form, as you can see. So let's do that real quick. And I can leave a link in the description and in the comments as well if you want to follow along. And there we go. Now, I haven't looked at Drupal at all. So this is also my first time looking at this. Let's take a review, Teggy's review. What is my job title? I don't know. Content creator, web builder, web creator, web creator. It sounds interesting, right? How do you call yourself if you're creating things for the web? I don't see myself as a pure web designer, because we have a web designer at our company that I'm just starting to work at, and they are a different kind of breed. And we also have a more developer kind of person than I am, so it's different. Hello, little brother. How nice of you to join. how are you doing? Everyone at work is oh darn it, unable to process the submission. Please contact the administrator. Welcome aboard. I guess it is working. Everybody at work is getting sick. We have like 30 people working there, and there are like 15 people sick. So I hope you are not sick yet. We are web developers. All right, this is the closest word I could come up with to explain what we're doing. Designers, yeah. That's why I like good. Nice, good to hear. Yes, also very chill actually. I've been. I've now a week working at a company as a WordPress specialist. I'm really liking it actually. It just feels the same as doing these kinds of live stream, experimenting and hobbying, doing some changes on websites. So it's very fun. Yeah. Yeah, you say web designers. Yeah. I think also it will be a kind of a combination. The design engineers maybe, because I like to do a little bit more of the design side than I like to do the programming side, but also not completely. And I was thinking of the term web creator or something, or web or something in those lines at least. Back to Drupal CMS. So here we have a way to get our things started. Let's say, for instance, we want to do a blog because we want to create a website for a portfolio, and then we need a blog to get all the messages across. Then we have a way of showing our case studies, and maybe we want to show our latest projects. I don't have any events, news, or personal profiles, so we're going to select those as first. Then we select a name. Of course, it will be Techie's Reviews. I was thinking of rebranding my name. I have Techie's Reviews everywhere, but yeah, maybe I should have one that is more close to me as well. web engineer. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of a nice way of saying it. Or web architect. I don't know. Let's see. We need to use keeper to create a random password. Let's see. I will do this off screen because I don't want anybody hijacking my my session. I don't think anybody that is right now in the live stream will do that, but you never know, right? So we just copy this, paste it in, and hit finish. No thanks. And let's open up a notepad, and in there paste our credentials, because it's just this for this one session. Do note that the trial of Drupal just is about 4 hours available, and then afterwards it isn't, and then everything is away. Something short, so fits in the design of my companion website of my live stream. Yeah. Kowalski. always watching Kowalski. Some short design of my companion website of my live. Yeah, I will think of something short. If you have some ideas, let me know. I was thinking Lex for UX, or designers, or created after dark, but I guess that's longer. I was also thinking of web wizards, something in those lines, but yeah, never took the time to get something up and running. This is taking a while, so we can change the scene a little bit with double voices, and that you can see me a little bit full of names, but it's hard. Yeah, I can imagine. It's not a very typical thing that we're doing actually during this live stream, right? It is just having fun and things. I will send you my design so you can think about it. All right, legs and text. Nice. That is fun actually, because we're looking at technical stuff, right? Not very designerish. Even if we are looking at designer tools, say for instance Figma. Figma is still tag, so would make sense. Ah, damn it. It will be gone after the stream, I guess. So this is also tag. Tag. Or Lex and Tag with an AG. Tag team. It's something to think about, at least. Thank you. But it's indeed hard. Needs to be fun, witty, and those kind of things. Look at that. We have something up and running. So let's have a look. I mean, you are a creative person, right, little brother? About text and that sort of thing, so I really like it. So here we have the Drupal dashboard. Look at that. Look at how clean this looks. This is just, ooh. Let's see. Let's close that as a sidebar. This just looks awesome. It looks very clean. And you have your blog post. So let's see what we can do with that. We have our title tags, description. So what we usually have on the right hand side is already available right here. Yes, except for the title, of course. What I'm missing is categories. Ooh, CKey. Oh, this is a long time ago that this still exists. That is pretty funny, actually. No, we don't need you, Gemini. Thank you. So this is how you created blog post. Hello. I might have dabbled in the writing department some time ago, I guess. Let's see. Hello world. I want to see how this looks also on the front end. So testing this thing out. And let's see if we can add a nice image at the Mayor library. Oh, there's already some demo content in there. That's something that can be learned from WordPress as well. So we can hit save. Instead of previewing and doing it, setting it in draft. Look at that. There's our blog. I don't like the design, by the way. It isn't my cup of tea, to be fair. But let's open it up in a second browser. Can we open it up without anything? Let's see if we do it in a incognito browser. Oh. New. So let's open it up right there and see how this looks. So this is how the design looks and the website look itself. We have a nice front page, just a very simple and basic one. And if we look at our blog posts, we see that we have a filter right here. It isn't a very common design, I guess, right? What we have right here. And I don't see my post that I just created, so I am curious where it is. So if we go in here, I just added one, right? Or do I misunderstand how this works? And here we have all our content. Ah, see, it is unpublished. I thought we said we wanted to publish it. Ah, you need to change the publish and then have a log. All right. That was something that I didn't expect. So I guess when we check it now, it is live. So let's go back and refresh it real quick. Let's see, there we go. Our first post. Oh, and there we go. There we have the rest of our text. So the blocking system works. It did work a little bit different than I expected, actually, but it's fine. So if we create a blog post, type everything here, you just save, and then you need to, in a very different UI, you need to adjust and publish the thing. So let's do that one more time. Hello 2 test, and this is also test. And then we hit save. And when we hit save, we still need to publish this. It is weird that you go into a different kind of UI. It is not what I expected. But that's how they work. And here you can delete it as well. So that's nice. If we go into content, you have your content interface and you can make some changes. You can edit even the pages that already exist. Let's see how that works. Yeah, you have the same kind of interface, just like blog posts. I wonder if we add it instead of view. Ooh, error occurred, attempting to process. So that's something. It doesn't seem like it is bordered by it too much. And if we look at layout, so here you have in edit, you have your contents, and if we go to layout, we can actually change the layout because we can add sections. And we can add a block. Let's add a block. Let's see. Woo, there's a lot of information. This looks really different from what I'm used to when using WordPress, actually. I guess the Gutenberg isn't that bad after all, if we just have a list with names here. Now, I don't know what I can input. If I want to add a... we are adding a block. So can we add a paragraph of some sorts? Now, as you might notice, I've never used Drupal CMS, so this is the first time that I'm using it, and I don't know if this is the best way of showing it, but it is at least my way. We have all lists, so all blog posts, the latest related. We have the case studies, projects, administration, and we can add content, but those are menus. It looks like these are preset blocks that are made by the person creating this kind of things. Can we just add content? Let's see what happens. Label above. Add. There we have our content block. And we can configure, we can also move it. Let's move it like Jagger. Let's move it upwards. I want a nice content block before my latest blog posts. There we are. Oh, and here on the side you also have a way of changing the position of everything. So that's nice. Then we can say move. Let's save the layout as well. Is used solely to control the layout of the pages. It's not like Gutenberg, where you write content directly within the interface. I see. So I understand that this is just for the layout, and then you have another place for adding and editing the content, right? And hi, by the way, Ivan Sujek. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but lovely to see you and that you have joined. It's solely to control layout of pages, not used like Gutenberg. Right, but I don't see, if I go to edit, I was expecting that I would see the content here as well. And maybe we have to save the layout. Yes, we need to save it first. So save layout. And then let's see. Yes, Drupal uses CKA editor. Yeah, it's a very long time ago that I've seen that. I know in my Joomla days, I've seen that before. So it's nice to see the CKA editor. And here we have, didn't I save it? Or, yeah, you're editing layout for the basic content in the page. Edit a template for all basic page content items instead. Let's see what happens when we press it. So this is the default way of it working. And you can add in blocks. Yeah, and those are the same blocks that we just saw, so I don't see anything different. And if we hit save, we've now added an extra content block. Let's see how this looks on the front end as well. Look at that, there's a section. But how do we change the text for that one? I was expecting, because the layout is just for layout for the pages, maybe an edit. Let's see, or do we change it in the layout as well? Hello. Let's display title. Let's hit update. Look at that. That's a beautiful title. But I have no clue where I can adjust this section. Even though we're in layout, I can understand that that is just for making sure that you have the full column or the 2-column, that sort of things in there, so that you are creating your layout, so to speak. I was expecting when I press edit that you can edit the sections. Maybe we can do that as well in here. Now, I don't see any interface popping up just like this one. Here you see a pencil, which usually means edit nowadays. But I don't see that popping up when I'm hovering here. So it's my misunderstanding still of the Drupal platform, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I can't seem to find where I can edit that content. It looks like those are the same content places. So I would expect that if I change it here, hello world, how are you? And then hit save, because we need to make the changes in the edit. And now it indicates, hello world, how are you? And the second one is also there. Yes. So now I understand. So we're basically using components right out of the gate. And in here we can add blocks, and those blocks are reusable components. But how do you create a new component? I think that's something that will come with the Starshot page builder-esque interface that is planned. Because I don't see anything that makes me able to adjust it in the front end. No. Leave me alone. And if we add a section, what kind of sections do we have? Here we have our layout sections. So we can have 2 sections, 50-50. It's nice that you have a preset. I don't see a way of setting our own values. Need to install block content module. Aha. Look at that. Thank you for joining. I love that you're helping out this noob. Let's see. So I guess we go to extend, and then we have the block content. And we have a lot of options already here. So very, very curious how this works. Look at all the options. Nice. Workspaces. Who provides an API for staging and previewing content. That's nice. That's already in there. AI automators. Ooh, you can build stuff with AI. I think it is a whole new world we're diving in, just discovering in Drupal CMS. In 6 and 12 or 12 months, when the page builder extension module, I guess it will be a module, or it will be an extension to the CMS, like a distribution as well. When that comes out, I definitely want to dive into that, because I feel more at ease with using page builders. There's a lot of things already available here. You see that? Wow, web forms, configuration to create web forms and elements. So here we can instantly add a lot of modules. Has been installed. Configure related permissions. All right. Yes, this looks like a good thing. And then we have blocks right here. Ooh, we can add a content block. Let's do that. You have not created a content block type yet. So we need to create a block. All right. Let's create one that's called general. Save and manage fields. Because it wants us to do that next. We have the body. And create a new field. Oh, we can add a lot of fields. This feels similar like ACF and that sort of things. We can add all kinds of stuff in here. So this will be our link, field link, help text. This looks okay-ish. When we look at body, how does this work? We have limited allowed of values. I don't want, I want a limited number of values. Give me all the values that are. Look at that, we just create our first blocks, and here we have a description. Form field, how this shows up, I guess, when we are editing the blocks. Manage permission. Now if you go back to content and then to home, can we then add and manage our blocks, or we go to layout. Oh, I see that we have the 50-50 kind of blocks. Now go back into layout builder, add a block. You should see create content block. Thank you. You're all the way in the top. I didn't see it, so there can be done something with making it more visual. But it is nice that it's there. And look at that. We have our link, our URL, we have our title. So this feels like a interface that we can work with. Yes, above the filter. So what kind of type would we give this? Column 1. Thanks, Ivan, I would say, because you're a very big help. Thank you so much. Let's check out how this works. Shall we? And this is just like the rich editor in Bricks or fancy editor. And you can build basic stuff. It feels like a text editor kind of thing. And you can also create layouts. I know in the past I've done this. I use tables to create layouts with the CKE editor. CK editor. CK editor. I don't know how you pronounce it actually. Column 1. This brings me way back in the human time where I did this all the time. And we can add another item. Look at that. Another one. And then we can add a link as well. So let's go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@taggiesreview. And by the way, if you're liking these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like button to let me know that I need to research and look into more kind of systems, just like Drupal CMS. So next live stream, I'm planning to have a relook at Joomla. So just a heads up so that you already know. Subscribe. And we can add another block. Now it's added. So here we have our basic settings that we just created. We have a table, we have those kind of things. It's funny that it is in layout now. Don't forget to subscribe and sub-like. Don't forget to scribble. Scribble in the comments down below. You know what you need to do. So there we have our block. I would never have found that if it wasn't for Ivan or Ivan or Ivan. So here we can add another block. And we can create another block. And this is the default block that we just created. So let's see. Can we create another block? There are no content blocks available. Content. And here we have blocks, media, and trash as well. Can we add like things to the media? Because that's something that I really dislike in WordPress right now, that we don't have some kind of tagging system. And it looks like there's not a specific way of tagging this. Maybe it's hidden. No, it doesn't look like it. But it is just like I'm used to. Let's go to structure. Ooh, what this button do? Look at that. We have a leave row for WordPress CMS, Drupal CMS. Oh dear, Drupal's getting sued by that now. That somebody said WordPress CMS instead of Drupal CMS. So Drupal is confusing. It's not, by the way. Let's be clear. So these are your blocks that you have. And the content blocks allows you to create another block. If I understand correctly. Then we have Claro. I don't know what these are. Easy email theme. I guess these are like themes that you have. And you have block types. Content blocks. Basic page. Block page. So these are the things that are already made. And system blocks into theme regions. I see. So in the header, you can add this one and you can add another block. For instance, the page title. I don't know why you would ever want that in your blog. And then you can add this one. And I guess this machine name is the one that you can use in your code to make changes in there. So these are all for changing the current theme, I assume. And then we have fields, and those are the content fields that we just created. Let's create another. Add content block. Another one. And let's see what happens, right? Format content. That sounds right. So you can also create email. But now we're creating a content block that we already have. So you can pre-make content blocks of content that you can reuse on your Drupal website. So you don't have to do that every time, I guess. Because this is the same thing that we just saw. But how are we able to adjust it? Trash, blocks. There are no content blocks available. But we did create a block layout of some sort. Block layout. Content types are just like post types in WordPress. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can see that. So if you go to content types, these are the custom fields, custom post types, dynamic data, name it. It can be added into a theme region or a layout builder region. I see. So blocks are the sections that you have on your website, and that can be added everywhere. Depending on the theme you're using, I'm assuming. And we can add a new field in here. Look, this is similar to what we had before. So we added a content block. So this one. And are we able to configure and change this? I don't think it's the same. Content types. Yeah, so this feels really familiar. Let's add another one, videos. And we leave the description as is. We have a submission form settings. I think this is the form that you can submit, and you have by default a title, explanation or submission guidelines. That will be fine. Display settings, menu, and then we can add also fields that we want to fill in. And we can then create a new field. I want a URL for my video. Video ID, because that is the link to the video. It can only be one at a time, so every post will be a different one. Then we can create a new field and will be a plain text. I guess this can be a the title. Text plain sounds about fair. Save settings. We can also set it as a thing there. And let's see, project here we have videos. And we have our title and our YouTube ID and again a title. So this can be a description then. So by default it gets a title, I assume. This looks very familiar. So in here we can, for example, add the YouTube link for this live stream, or maybe another one. I see that I have this one open. Or this one from Jimmy. Let's see. Nope. Set this one from Jimmy. So there we go. This is the latest one from Jimmy. Look at this. Yes, he just published it for the email designer. Oh, it's very good to know. Go watch that after this live stream. Watch this video. Then we have a title. It's email designer, and let's hit save and let's see how this looks. Because we didn't set up any template. Yeah, this is what I would expect. It would look similar like the blocks and that sort of thing. And then you need a different kind of system to make this look in the way that you want to do. And if I remember correctly, for Drupal, that is coding it yourself, which will change in the future, as I said earlier. So we now have created our custom post type. So that's nice. Then we have our dashboard, and that's actually this page, I guess, right? Welcome. And we can change the dashboard. So instead of needing a extra plugin, yeah, look at that. Instead of needing an extra plugin, you can make those changes right here. So this is a kind of interface. It feels a little bit old school, if you ask me, that you need to edit this way. But it is really helpful for people to understand where they can add certain things. Then we have form modes. So we can add some kind of form mode for media. I don't know if I want to touch that right now. Then you have media types. And with the media types, can you say, look at that, remotely hosted Vimeo. How does this work? Can we insert remote? Yes. Thumbnail location, remote video. You see that there are these providers allowed. And we can make changes to our existing fields. So does that mean that we can change the fields that we have in our video? Let's see. Create a new field, because we now created a we can select media, file upload, selection, reference, YouTube video. Let's see. Oh yeah, media reference. We can change the type. I see. Can we search for remote? Responsive, role? Nope. It doesn't look like it exists. So maybe, or maybe I don't understand what this is. I don't understand what this is, by the way. It's not even a maybe. A taxonomy. Views. So these are views for the blog, views for projects, and you have different kind of blogs that you have in there. I think for the next time I need to get in a professional during this live stream or something that they can explain how this works and how we can set it up and use it as we would like to use it in GreenShift. Appearance is GreenShift in WordPress. To categorize and yeah, right. Yeah, I can understand this a little bit. You have Drupal. Yeah, it really looks like a different planet, yeah. But it's what you get with any kind of system, so you need to take some time to get used to. What I do really like is that there's a lot of extensions already available that makes this experience a bit bearable, instead of needing to find different places where you can install all kinds of things that you need for your website and need to pay heavily for before you can use it. You have it all in here. For instance, custom post types doesn't exist right now in WordPress. And it does exist in Drupal right out of the gate. So that is very awesome. Also, the setup process was very easy to do, actually. So setting up and picking that you want some blog post in there, case study or projects. It was very easy to do, actually. Just to get it up and running. Now, I am also wondering how this will be different if we're using just Drupal. To join you, see if you would like me to discuss. Yeah, that would be lovely, Ivan. Let's plan that out. So please reach out to me if you like to. Would love to see how this works, and you're familiar with WordPress, so from scratch, how will people start out? How will people like me that are not very technical? I knew how to code, but I never set up a proper what's called environment using Docker. I've always had issues with that one, and then we always needed to ask the back-end developer to help us out to set it up properly, because it just didn't work. So from your standpoint, I would love to do a collaborative live stream to explore how WordPress people can use Drupal without diving too much into the code and into setting up different kind of things. So that would be lovely if you would. We could do instead of pair programming, we could do pair CMSing and understand how this specifically works. You also have comments you can add, contact, help, history, layout, expose all field blocks. Not sure, let's connect. Awesome. Search, settings, tray, shortcut, SQLite, so that's nice. There's a lot of things there, right? Workspace provides an API for staging. Yeah, that's something I also want to explore. Provides a user interface for creating and managing workspaces. Let's also enable that one. I don't know if I want any AI right now. When it provides an abstraction layer for AI services. Let's just enable it. Let's just see what we can do. We have Anthropic provider, so you need to enable provider as well. I wonder if I don't select a provider, what it does. Authentic chaos tools, utility and helper APIs for the Drupal developers and site builders. The chaos tool, that sounds like fun. Provides improvement blocks that will one day be added. Improvements to blocks. Let's see how that looks. Field layout. Display arranging fields in several columns. That would be nice. Nothing for the AI functionality. You need an API key. Yeah, that's what I thought. But do you get a pop-up saying you need to enable a provider? like OpenAI, Claude, or Gemini. I didn't see any Gemini mentioned in the AI providers, by the way. ECA. I guess that's access checklist API example. Fields provides the ability to group your fields in both form and display. So there's already some kind of form thing happening. And here we can add different kind of fields. You can use geodata as well. So it's already integrated. You only need to set up an API. And I don't know what kind of API you will be using for this one. Crop API, AI, migration tools. So that's nice. Provides a framework for migrating data to Drupal. To Drupal. Can I migrate my WordPress website to Drupal then? Bugsnag. Some of the naming, I have no clue what this is, Bugsnag. It looks like it is helping you to debug from what I get from the name, but I have no idea. Google tag, that looks like something that we would like to use. Redirect domain allows users to redirect between domains. Token, database search. Implementation for search API that uses database to... yeah, snags the bugs. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's awesome. You have your meta tags in there as well. Provides support for many different favicons. So this looks like a very complete product. You can add anything in there to make it easier for for lay people or people that are not into Drupal yet. It would be nice that you can just install packages like SEO packages and then have the default one, and then perhaps ask what kind of platforms they're willing to use and want sharing things with. But I'm very curious how this will work. Editorial checks for accessibility in page content. We have web forms. Let's see what we just do. You must install the AI core. You can. So this is nice that you get a warning that you need to install that one as well. Would you like to continue with the above? So I am assuming that it also installs the other things that we need. Install SEO checklist and the module. So let's do that. The recipe system was a wow. Right. Let's hit cancel. Can we still cancel? So instead of list, we can go to recipes. Warning. I guess but it's not, I guess I've messed up a bunch of things. Is there a way to enlist this, the install, or didn't it install the things that we added? It looks like CKA did install it, but also the modules. So the recipes are the ones that people from WordPress perhaps should use. So let's see. Experimental testing purpose only. Use at your own risk. I think I will be fine. Here we have our staging environment. Modules dependencies. I see. So this would be something that people like me should use. Oh, here's also the person profiles. I see. This is a really nice way. So if you want to do it modularly and you don't have and don't need any all of the things, then you can use the list and you can pick and choose what you want to install. But if you're just like me, used in WordPress, that you can just install a plugin and it already has a defined set of extensions, then this works best. So if we want to, this looks more like the things that I'm used to, by the way. Installing plugins so that you have a list of things. It's very modular. It's nice. So we need to wait until it installs something. I believe I've seen your name somewhere, Ivan. So I'm going to research you. A Drupal consultant. Ah. For 18 years. Look at that guy. Wow. You've been in the Drupal space quite some time, I guess. Nice. I guess so. You looked familiar, but when I look at your picture, I am not sure if I really know you from somewhere. I will send you a LinkedIn invite, by the way, so that we can let's see, and let's make connection. There we go. Now we're just installing some default settings. I'm also very interested in the accessibility tools, because that's the one thing that Drupal that WordPress is really missing. The option conforms. Let's do that. Let's just check it out. And if I'm not mistaken, Drupal is still more aimed towards developers instead of designers like me, right? I feel more like a designer than a developer, I guess. Seeing this kind of system. Ooh, here we can change workspaces, other workspaces. We can view all. That's awesome. We have live staging. And can we add another one? Just a dev environment. And the owner is admin. We can add other ones in there. Are there any parents? And save and switch. So now we have changed a workspace. Does that mean when we do changes, for instance, we add a basic page and we test our contents in here, we hit save and we publish it. Yeah, I'm building enterprise CMSs. Yeah, I can see that from how how it looks and feels and behaves a little bit. It feels more robust and very complete, actually. Right, accessibility checker. A lot of things in there, and not to piss off anybody, but some of the designs are not the things that I really like. But yeah, it's just a personal thing, I guess. And if we look, where did we add it? We add it as a page. So if we go to our content, and then we have our basic page, it is unpublished, so we need to publish it. Let's see. We can hit. Oh, here's our search engine optimization, and the checklist that we know from Joost as well, who's actually banned, by the way, for WordCamp this year. We have another test. And hit save. And can we duplicate edit? But I just want to get this published. This will stay unpublished, I guess, because we're in a workspace called dev. And what if we now go to the live version? Is this still there? Yes, I want to change to the... We still have this version, staging version. The content is being added and as a result, your changes cannot be saved. I see. So we do have workspaces. Well, if we change workspace, we still see the things that we've added, and then you get a warning. So if we now change this one, we can make changes to here. And if we want to add it, a field, test. It is now there, it's updated. And if we think we are ready, I guess we need to make it live. So we go to from view all, and then we can say publish content. Publish to live items. Publish to live, and if we... There are securities updates available on one or more modules to execute. You should update immediately. See available updates. That's nice. A very big warning. I got triggered. Let's see what happens if we press this button. What does this button do? Press. There we go. A new version is available. The form can only be submitted in default workspace. Why do I get a message here? It would be nice that the default workspace then would be enabled. Let's see. But we were working on getting stuff published, right? We want to publish this. Cannot be published. It contains one item in an unpublished moderation state. All right. An unpublished moderation state. So if we go to content, we have this one. It is unpublished, that's true. But we want to change it to published. Do we have a separate setting that we can save? Save. It is draft, and now we want to set it to published. And it's still unpublished. Where do we need to make changes? In the previous one, it was somewhere in view. Is there something in here that needs to be changed? Doesn't mean that we need to fill this one in. It's already there. You also have the focus keywords. SEO preview. So it's also doing the checks you normally would do. Do we have menu settings? No. Exclude? No. Schedule, site. Where do you want it in sitemap? An alias, so that's also awesome. They can create simpler URLs for a section. If we hit save, I have no clue how I can get this to a live version. Ooh, you can see all the edits that we can do. So in here, view all workspaces, publish content, publish to items. Yeah, looks like that we still need to change the moderation state, and I have no idea how I can do that. Because in test, we can click view, edit, change to publish, current status published. So it looks like it is published, but it isn't at the same time. That's really confusing. Does it has to do with some kind of caching? Let's do a force reload. I really don't have any idea how I can set this live, because it says in the states that it is not published, and in here we have it published. So that's really difficult to understand. Configuration. Now we can set up our AI as well. It's nice, the recipes way of working. we have default. We have all kinds of AI settings. But because we didn't set up any AI for it, it would be nice that there's some way in here that we can make those settings to add our providers as well. Oh, that's, I don't want to go anywhere else. And we have Google Tag as web service. We can add our Google ID. And then we have default events that we can track. Login, custom event. Enable event, custom events. Web form. Search. Let's see if we... So I don't know how to get things to live. So I'm just looking at only at the CMS part of this. So I can understand that so I can understand how this can work. But I find it really confusing, especially this one actually. And that really triggered me. Let's see if we have blocks. We don't have any content blocks. All right. If I want to add a content block, you can create a design for the page that you're using. And what if we want to adjust this? Because this is the block that we created before. And this looks very similar to ACF, where you have the custom fields as well. That doesn't mean it works. Yeah, I guess. And I want to make adjustments to the content block. Using workspace does complicate things. I would first use the site without. For me, I was thinking that it is something similar to using a Stagia environment that you have in WordPress. But in WordPress, it works very tedious. Because you have to just make a direct copy of your whole website. So... I'm very curious how the workspaces work. Because if it fixes how you can use a staging website to get your information to live, that will be very awesome actually. And that you have a different theme that is looking at the staging stuff, and that you have another theme that is looking at your live stuff or something like that. I guess it's more for the page building things, but let's see. Well, we also have different themes that we can set up. Ooh, look at this one. This looks very interesting. There's now a default theme. Available updates. Let's just see what happens. I expect when I press that button that it will change to this kind of interface, but it doesn't. Let's see if we press update. Here we have our update. Now I'm also curious how the front end then will look. Still looks the same. Ah, nice. So this is the accessibility check. Was heading level skipped? Headings and subheadings, great. This is awesome. This is a very nice experience. You get it right out of the gate. Right out of the box. That's awesome. I don't think it wants to update this one because I didn't set it up for my own website, and it's fine. So let's see. Take the reviews. So it's nice that it has, with the extensions, has a lot of things already available that you don't need extra things for. Now, I do still think, for instance, if you want to use something like a web shop, I don't see anything for that. So then you need to create your own, I guess. Or need to look into the Drupal website. Extensions. modules. I guess it's called modules. You'd use Drupal Commerce. Yeah, I can see. I understand. Drupal Commerce. Commerce Core, PayPal. So there's a lot of modules available to create some kind of web shop. But just for the CMS part, it is still a bit confusing on how things work specifically. And that also has to do with workspaces, I assume. Complex than WooCommerce. I see. Because you have more granular control, I assume. Test. This is my body. So this is more like a blog post kind of things, and this is a general block type. Where can we change the block types? So we have block types and we have block layout. And for our block layout, we have the content block, right? That's just for showing the CMS. It's also weird, I didn't expect this to look the same, by the way. But that's fine. Content types. Now, where can I change my blocks? I expect that everything that you can change is here, and this is just for creation. So this is for creating new one. This is for managing. So managing your blocks, content, media, and trash. And these are for extending or making changes to the to how the CMS behaves. So, for example, in the extend functionality, we extended it using SEO, but also AI and that sort of things. And in structure, you can change the structure. You have your menus, and you have your different type of menus. And in the edit menu, you can make changes to this. This is very nice that you can, well, you can't do it in WordPress directly. It's just change how this looks and feels and that sort of things. Administration, appearance. So it looks like this section can be changed. For instance, if we think appearance is more important, we can make those changes and then hit save. And there we are. So this is also very nice if you want to add a custom UX in the backend. That's actually really awesome. Because that's really horrible in the WordPress. It's just overwhelming what you have in the backend. Content types. Yeah. All right. The content types is something that I can get used to. Only how it shows in the in Drupal itself. It's just way different, but it's fine. If I see this, I feel like I'm very spoiled with using WordPress. It's really, it really has a dumbified way of working compared to all of this extensiveness. And I guess this has to do with Drupal being more aimed for development and enterprise CMS. So not for your mom and pop shop, as some people say. So I can understand that there are differences between those. But yeah, overall, it does look very interesting. And I'm also very curious how you set up a theme and how you can make adjustments, how you can just create a basic template yourself. Having the setup wizard is very awesome. That it allows you to understand how you can do things right over the gate to help you and guide the user in creating a first version of all the fields that you need. And this way you can easily manage them. It would be nice if you can also change the interface. I mean, having a featured image this full width, that doesn't make sense for me. It could be a small block and then a small block for display, and then maybe client details like the name and logo and that sort of things, maybe shorter together, and then you have the three things right here, or you have your title, publish date or something instead of having that on site. Yeah, having all these options pretty neat. Yes, I do agree with that. So to round this off a little bit, because we're going about an hour and 10 minutes right now, I feel like Drupal has a lot going for it. If I look at the interface, it looks very awesome. It looks very clean. There are some modules that doesn't feel like it comes together in the interface. It feels like foreign, actually, to the Drupal interface. There's a lot of things that you need to understand and need to learn, as we just saw. It is not very easy for a WordPress user to just get in there. Luckily, there was a guy in here in the live chats called Ivan that has helped me getting things set up. But as he stated as well, Drupal is now focused more and is more for developers and enterprise CMS to use this kind of things. So people that are used to typing a lot and not having the best experience, that's the common thing that is used there. However, the one thing that I'm very curious about, and Drupal CMS star shot, let me quickly see if I can find that one. So they have a initiative that's called the Starshot initiative, and in there their vision, and let's see, I want to see if I can find it, because Adam was talking about it. Starshot, because there's something coming that I'm very excited about, and maybe I have to look at Drupal again when that is released. Let's see. I don't want you to talk. I don't know where I can find it. Let's see. Drupal page builder experience. Starshot experience builder initiative. Week 4, annotated data model. Look at that. They're creating this right now. It doesn't look the best, but it's something. Yeah, the experience builder. Yeah. I was hoping to have some kind of way of seeing how that looks. Check out release candidate, watch. I saw in the past that issue tracker, somebody showed a preview of some kind, a mock-up sort of. But at least the experience builder would be something that I'm more used to. And if Drupal adds that in a very correct and cool way, that would be very nice. And as we can see here, I am assuming that this is what they're building with that one. And it's just three versions in there: May, June. So it looks like it isn't there aren't any visible updates, but this is their way of creating a page builder like Bricks, but also like Gutenberg and that sort of thing, to make it easier for people like like me to add this in, to use this for the Drupal website itself. We can see that there are some settings that are available. You have some slots that are available and building up your websites. So I will be having a look at Drupal CMS again, I guess, when the Experience Builder is live. And if you want to see me, and I also want to, together with Ivan, look at how we can do this for how we can use Drupal CMS right now as a WordPress developer. So if you are more of a developer and would like to use Drupal CMS even together with something like Web Studio, that would be awesome. That you just use Drupal for the back end, and then for the CMS part, and then something like Web Studio for the front end, or for the page building effect. So you can use different systems for different purposes. Let's see if there's a connection. Yeah, there's a connection with Drupal. So that would also be a very nice way of working. So Ivan, I would really love if you would join me on a live stream and just get me through how Drupal works and how I can use the CMS itself. And perhaps we can look at API, because Web Studio allows you to create a nice looking front end like we're used to using in Page Builder, like Elementor or Bricks Builder or that sort of things. But it also allows you to connect to APIs. And because Drupal doesn't have the Experience Builder, I guess this is a kind of way that people can get started if they want to use something like Drupal as a CMS and then connect it to Web Studio as well. So it was a very fun experience, actually, looking at a different system. I also know that although WordPress isn't perfect for a lot of reasons right now, it is far ahead for lay people or people that are not that kind of development settings. But also do understand that I don't mind doing the coding. But it's more HTML and CSS kind of thing. And I think Web Studio just makes it very easy to create a website. So would love that. Love to do that. So thank you, Ivan, that you're open for it. And let's schedule something someday. But for now, it's almost bedtime for me. So thank you for watching. I hope this helped you and seeing the struggles that I have with Drupal. And perhaps next time we'll have a more better conversation about this, because Ivan will help us out creating a basic CMS that we can use with his other tool like Web Studio. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all on a next one. Keep designing. I have to end the broadcast very awkwardly, so see ya.